Okay, so if we start with square one about the shank thing, what we talked about was stating the obvious about what happens at impact. Well, that club is coming on the heel at impact, so that means everything we're seeing here is going to be out here at impact.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can get away with a little bit. The other one I like to show you here is when you get on your toes. It's another line I put here right on your butt, just to see if your butt moves away from that line that way. Okay, that means, again, this is all the bad direction for shankers. Okay, feet, hips, arms, head moves back, the spine goes up, blah blah blah. So let's just look at the first swing here. All right, coming back on plane pretty good, a little bit underneath, it's fine. A little over across the line there. See your head kind of goes down, and now you're starting to get that forward move from this is front view. That's pretty good. That's on plane pretty good there. That's not going to be a shank, obviously. So there's a pretty good. Let's just look at where your arm is at impact there. Yeah, see, this is a little bit more. It's closer to the heel than you think.
Yeah, I guess I just barely
Didn't
hit
feel
that
it.
one enough.
But you didn't feel it in your hands or anything? You never hit one. You hit one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I did.
But again, this is the first. So if we look at impact compared to just a little bit on the heel there, not enough to. Shaft's in good shape. Arms in pretty. I mean, that's a pretty good swing. It looks like your arms came in there pretty tight. As before we even talked about it. That's what I'm talking about with the arm plane. Now they came out a little bit from where they started, but that's pretty good. So.
That's why I told you my swing feels good for the most part, but then I'll just have one, it'll come out that inch or two, and bang, next thing you know I'm shanking.
Well, I'm telling you that we got to get you better at the top. We can't have that club crossing the line. And see your head kind of bobbing. Now you can make up for it. Now you drop that in the slot pretty good. Let's get a front view here.
See how that right is obviously out in front of the left? That's before we talked about it.
That's correct, yeah.
I think I shanked this one.
This is only the third swing. I don't like this. We still got to get better at the top part of our swing. So that's just long term. See, you're way ahead of the ball there.
I shanked this one.
This was the one, huh? See that right elbow? It's not anywhere near tucked, is it? We talked about that before, haven't we? There it was. See how the club got closed because you hit it on the heel? That just shut the toe right down, but the ball's already gone.
Yeah.
So if you look at that impact versus the tour studs impact, watch how that arm, look at that elbow. It's right in there. Look at how tight that is there. If I put you in that spot, we're going to see a big window of your two arms spreading.
Oh, yeah.
So there's similar positions. You got the window, and he's got it tucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of little contributing factors to when your timing really gets bad. You got a chance to hit it on the house.
Yeah.
That's it. not all the time, and you've got good enough athletic ability and good enough hand-eye coordination that things can kind of get, things can be okay too. All right, now we're starting to see, I can see the top of that left arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make the takeaway look better. See, that's more on plane.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these irons,
I got to stop them a hair shorter.
well, it's still that upper body.
Mm-hmm.
Your upper body's just pointing that
Yeah.
way to allow it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. And boy, it's just a hard thing to do because intuitively, you've got enough. You played the baseball, you got the feel for what, moving something around you with speed
Mm-hmm.
and what it takes and instincts, and there's a lot of speed in your golf swing, which can be an asset. But you got this big old frickin' wind up
Yeah.
that's making you, that's part of how you get the speed, but sometimes it's inefficient speed.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it makes your miss hits much worse too.
That's correct. Yeah, you just got a chance to. Wasn't too bad, but perfect world. I'd like to see you not quite as deep with your hands back here, and I'd like the club not to go that way. But,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, we're going to find.
That setup looks a lot better.
Does. Let's see if that elbow thing. Just. It's almost like that head gets ahead of the ball, and
Mm-hmm.
then you got to catch
There's
up.
that little window, and yeah, come over.
Then you got to catch up.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the driver with more length and speed and timing requirements, right,
Mm-hmm.
to square up the club face, all that speed, then when you get too far ahead of it, the face can't square up. Now again, this is one of our earlier warning signs. I like that, but that doesn't mean the legs should be going over there too. Keep those square.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got too much weight on this right leg.
Mm.
Your tendency, I want to get that over there, but watch my legs. They didn't move.
Mm.
The
So
pyramid, the pyramid, if you remember.
stand up
me,
taller, but then just get more of like a,
it's from here to here.
yeah,
It's not here
yeah.
too. Okay. So you're well behind the ball there with your upper body, but a lot of it, this is probably too much here.
It's too much weight shift, and it was causing me to
Well,
not get through
because
the
of
ball.
you're too much on your right leg there.
Yeah.
And, check your ball position sometime if you get too. Of course, you move ahead of it so much that a forward ball position probably isn't bad for you. Your head hasn't really moved from address. It's so goddamn flexible up there. It's something you're going to want to have later in your life. But you got to do something. You got to fix that on the way down. That's no better way to say it.
Now it comes forward, and this is why I block it all to the right.
Your elbow's in there better.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a good one too. I don't remember, but
I don't think I hit a damn good one.
it's not bad. You hit it a little high on the face,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't a bad swing. But if you look at the amount of movement,
Oh, the head, it just, as soon as my swing starts up, my head and body start coming forward, and that's why I push so much to the right.
now you're in pretty good shape here because of a good set as far as your angle.
Mm-hmm.
just your first instinct is to get the ball to the ball with your head. No better way to say it, is it?
No, I guess not.
So you got to keep that in your head. Now, by the time you come into impact here, your head's in a good spot relative to the ball.
Right.
But it did start way back here because of, basically, if you remember us talking about this, I said to you, the reason you got to have it way to the right is because we know you're going to move forward.
Yeah.
If you get it forward at that spot, that's a good spot for an impact with the ball because the head's still behind the ball, right?
Yeah.
With those irons,
Oh no.
not the case.
Right.
And that was before you started bumping back here again. So you could call this a little Band-Aid.
Yeah, but that's not what I want to do.
Well, I'm just saying, let's help you.
Right.
Because, having you over-rotate your upper body and that causing the club to cross the line at the top is it's just part of your DNA. You can sit here and look at it, and you can hear me talk about it, and we can both say, I can't do that no more to get better. That doesn't mean that you're not on autopilot with your instincts.
Right.
So, it's just a little bit of, and I still think your best exercise for all of this is when you're hitting that driver on the range, practicing. If you just take it, you just dial it back.
Just thinking 75, 80%.
My guess is that you would see a little better position at the top of the swing. We got a couple minutes. Let's just try a couple of those. I'll take a couple pictures of that.
Okay.
And then I'll send that to you too. Okay.